15 British words that Americans and Canadians do not understand. Hello, everybody. My name is Steve Ford, and I'm here to help you so that you can avoid any embarrassing situations the next time that you're coming for a visit to North America. Number one, first prize is pants. So pants in the UK is short for underpants. That's boxers, knickers. That's something that you wear over your privates. Of course, in the United States and Canada, pants are more like this. And I think in other languages, it has more the North American meaning for pants. Another word which is completely off the radar for North Americans is crisps. We know when the texture of food is crisp, but crisps, if you ask someone for crisps here at a 7-Eleven, they won't have any idea what you're talking about. So crisps here in North America means chips, potato chips. And I just checked with my wife, she's Brazilian. They've Americanized it and they say batata chips. So I'm curious to know, for everybody who's watching this, do you also say something in your language, chips or something like that? Or maybe you say something crisps? You let me know. The next one, a word which is uniquely British, you don't hear it here, is ice lolly. And that means popsicle in North American English. We have one which is lollipop, but definitely ice lolly. UK, that's all yours. My last one for food is biscuits, because biscuits here is completely different. I can remember my grandmother making cheese biscuits at Christmas time. She used to love making cheese biscuits, and we would put butter on them and eat them with gravy. That's biscuits here. But biscuits for Brits are hard cookies, quite often eaten with their afternoon tea. I'm sure that I was going to say cookies. I'm sure that you will add in that you eat biscuits at many times during the day. There are many occasions. If you want a little tip, a little side note, Brits do say cookies, but it's only the American ones which are chocolate, chip, and chewy. So it can get a little bit confusing when you're going to the supermarket. Another one is candy floss. Floss. When I hear floss, I'm thinking of like flossing my teeth, which might not be a bad idea after eating candy floss, which is just complete sugar. Candy floss, of course, in American and Canadian English is cotton candy. I think you will hear some Canadians maybe uphold the British tradition and say candy floss as well. Jumper. Jumper. That's a big one. Jumper. Because a jumper in North America is a pinafore, but a jumper for Brits is a sweater. Does that make sense? Another biggie, or maybe not if you don't wear these things, is what the British call braces. Braces for us is when you go to the dentist and maybe you need to straighten your teeth and get braces. Braces in North America is suspenders. And I've seen comments, people saying, fashion snobs saying, no, in North America, you guys say braces for suspenders as well. Only at high-end tailor shops, and the button-on, I believe they're button-end suspenders. Those are also a kind of suspender. So we make that differentiation. That's a big one. So if you come here and you go to a store and you ask for braces, they're going to send you to the orthodontist. Of course, this next one is a classic way to confuse people, because if Brits say pavement, I'm walking on the pavement. To my North American ears, this sounds like they're walking in the middle of the road. But that's not what they mean. For Brits, pavement means what in North America is called a sidewalk. For North Americans, pavement is the road you drive on. So let's say that your British friend arrives at your apartment and you say, hey, where are you? Oh, I'm just outside your flat. That's another one, by the way, apartment. Yes, I'm standing on the pavement. Well, our first reaction would be, well, get out of the middle of the road. The next one, I think that the Brits have an edge here, because zebra crossing, as they pronounce it, zebra crossing, would be in North America a crosswalk or a pedestrian crossing. And I've seen comments from other people who speak other languages under my videos, and a lot of them have something related to that animal. So yeah, that one goes to the UK, but it's definitely not a word that we use here. We would understand crossing, just not the zebra part or even the zebra part. Maybe we could try to imagine it, but we would just say crosswalk, which brings me to the next one, which is lollipop man or lollipop lady. Yes. Now, for me, this conjures up images of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and somebody who's bringing lollipops for all the kids to have as a treat. But that in the UK is very unique because they're carrying a sign, and that sign looks like a lollipop. In the United States, that's going to be a crossing guard. A crossing guard. So yeah, completely different. Of course, if you go into the hardware store and you ask for a torch, that's something that you actually light. But in North America, if you go into a hardware store, you would ask for a flashlight. For example, this in my wife's language is lanterna, lanterna. Yes. What is it in your language? You guys let me know in the comments. And of course, this here in British English would be a lorry, lorry. So once again, to my North American ears, a lorry sounds like the name of a woman. Lorry. We would say truck. Of course, if you go into a pharmacy and you ask for a plaster, that is not, they'll say, well, then you probably should go back to the hardware store, because that's what it is for us. Plaster that you plaster the walls with. But a plaster is a Band-Aid. Band-Aid. And it is in my wife's language too. They say bandage. I'm sure that's an Americanism. And God forbid that you need to go to the doctor here, but if you do, don't ask to go to the surgery. That's not going to register here because we say doctor's office. Doctor's office. That's the clinic where your doctor receives and treats and consults with patients. And traditionally, that's been known as surgery in the UK, also GP for general practitioner. So completely different. But that's not all, because there is also, get ready for it, operating theater. Operating theater. Theater. In case you're wondering what that is, it's actually the operating room where they perform the surgeries. Well, why theater? Well, there's a reason for it. It's historical. I don't want to get into it too much. Which is more similar to your language? Operating room or operating theater? The last one, I had a lot of requests for this one, is fortnight. Fortnight. Now, fortnight for us, to our ears, when you say that, we think that that's a video game, Fortnite, spelt a little differently. But for the British, in formal writing, and maybe formal speaking, that means 2 weeks. You would never hear people in North America use fortnight. Okay, everybody, I know that was a lot of information. Welcome to my life. If you would like to download the cheat sheet, once again, you can do that here. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I want to give a special shout out to all of my new followers here on YouTube. It was a real pleasure talking to you guys, and you stay tuned if you want to see some more US, UK vocabulary or even grammar pronunciation differences. You let me know in the comments and I can make a lesson for you. Bye for now.